All right, so to start connecting Trimble Connect with Siteworks, you'll want to obviously have a Trimble Connect account. And in the Trimble Connect account, once you have it set up, you will download the connected apps onto your survey controller. So you want this Trimble Connect Sync app, download it on your controller, and install the application. When you do that, what will happen is you will get this Trimble Connect Sync app. Now, it's important before you start doing anything is to go into the settings. So click the sprocket here, go into sync, and you want to set the path to your Trimble Synchronizer data controller folder, Trimble SES 900 data. So you want to set that path to make sure that that's set before you create any projects or do any kind of syncing. Now, if you have a existing projects on the advanced option of the existing project, you also want to go ahead and set that folder. So you want that folder to be the actual project folder. So if you don't have it here, what you need to do is type in this slash or st, whatever the project name is. This is the server path. You want to make sure that that shows up under or next after the Trimble SES 900 data folder. Now, once you do that, then when you go into Siteworks, that folder will exist inside of your SES 900 data folder. So it automatically will get created. If it doesn't, it ends up under this projects. So you want to make sure that it's not under projects, that it's actually under the STS 900 data folder. Now, what I've done here is I have inside of Connect, I've got this Trimble Siteworks project template. Inside of that, if we open that up, you'll see that there's folders which are created by Siteworks. So the background image folder, CAD files, designs, work orders, and then the site XML. The site XML doesn't have to be here. You'll create that when you go in to actually create your project. But these folders will get created. So I set up a template that I would just go into here and I would say use as template for a new project. So we're going to create a new project. We're going to grab the project settings and the folder structure, right? We don't really need anything else. We don't have any members or groups. So we're just going to click next. We're going to give it a name. We'll call it Siteworks Sync Demo. We'll do a 1.3 just to make sure. Now we'll just do one. Make sure that it's the right one. Under options, you can set your folder path. You can put a description, start date, but we don't need any of that. We're going to click submit. So this is going to prepare that project for us. So we'll have to wait a few seconds for that to happen. So you'll get an email that tells you when the basically new project's created, and you can click on that email and it'll provide you with a link to view the project. But you can see here, once you refresh, that project should eventually show up. And when you click on it, you'll see you've got all the same folders. Okay. So remember, this is up in the cloud and I've got this new project. So now when I close this and we go to our sync location, and I got my Windows Explorer open so you can see what's happening here, right? So we got Trimble Sync project here, but if I click on this, we actually want Trimble Sync 1, right? So I'm going to refresh this and let's see if it's in here. Siteworks should show up at the top. So Siteworks demo, right? We want to go to advanced, and it should, you see here, is that folder's already been created, right? So Siteworks Sync Demo 1 is here, but you'll notice that it's under projects. So that's what we want to make sure that this shows up under just get rid of the projects, and we'll click done. So that's where that folder now you'll see is right there. So now when we click on this here, it's empty because this is our controller. When we hit synchronize, we'll synchronize these folders to this. So once you get this set up, it's there. So it's just a matter of changing that path and make sure that path is set because it wants to default to the projects folder. You can see that those are here, but we don't need those. So we'll just ignore those for now. But there's that demo sync, project folder. So now when you go into Siteworks, what I'll do is we'll open up Siteworks. And when we go to open project, we can click on this and here's that project. So now we can select that. We'll go ahead and create the XML, the project. We can create our work order. So demo work order STK, hit finish. We can create our design. When we create our design, you'll be able to go to the line work and go to that folder where under CAD files would be your data prep files or your surface files or whatever it happens to be that you created, whether you created in Business Center, Civil 3D, MicroStation, or other application. And then once you're done and you're set up and you're collecting data, and then you export the uh, data under data management. Well, I don't have any data here, but if you go in and measure data and set up the data and measure that data and export it back, like export the DXF or the CSV file, then when you go back here, you'll see when I click on synchronize that that new work order has been created. And that's the only thing that needs to be synchronized. So when I click sync now and we go back into Trimble Connect and we go into that demo folder in the cloud under work orders is that work order. And if we had any data created, design file, whatever, that would also be sent back to Trimble Connect. So pretty simple. The trick is just making sure that you set the path of the project inside of the Trimble Sync, right? So like if you look at the new folder, like this, let's look at this Murphy oil, for example. If I take a look at there, you can see the path where it's set. So if I want this to go to my controller, then on my controller, I would have to go in and browse the path, and we'd want to change this to that Trimble Synchronizer folder. So I'm going to go to that PC. We'll go to Windows. We'll go to our Trimble Synchronizer data, SCS 900, and you'll see that, well, there's Murphy oil right there. That one's looks like that one's already there. So let's try actually. So then we would just set that path actually. So we don't want this folder. We want the PC, Windows, synchronizer data, PC, SCS 900, and then we want to put Murphy oil. That's the folder we want. So we want that to match this. So then when we're done there, we were to click synchronize, you can see that all that data, the CAD files for there, the site plan, the storm drain, all those files will be sent and downloaded because these are up in the cloud. And then this is on my controller, which would be synced back to the cloud. So you can kind of see which ones are going to be set. So whatever you select will get sent. So if you don't want to send everything, you can just send one thing at a time. You can do that as well. Then you would sync now, and that data would be sent and synchronized the to the cloud, and any data that's in the cloud would be synchronized to your controller. So pretty simple of making this. It's just the key is making sure the paths are set accordingly.